Boss tells View enough already, Dagan. According to the Daily Beast, Disney and ABC execs have told The View to tone down their Trump bashing because they're constantly doing it. Should they, though? I mean, isn't this their brand now? They got nothing left. If you take that away, what do they have?
After Disney CEO promised to clean things up faster than you can say ratings problem, Greg Gutfeld wasted no time going after The View. It turned into a roast so intense even Mickey Mouse would need a fire extinguisher nearby. The whole situation became more entertaining than a theme park meltdown. So what exactly made Disney so angry? And how did Gutfeld turn the entire controversy into comedy gold?
The owner of ABC News and daytime talk show The View is now the subject of a new report claiming CEO Bob Iger is urging the show's host to tone down their criticism of President Donald Trump.
Always want us to be respectful and do the things and talk about the stuff we talk about. We can do all of that. But when you are blatantly giving the country the middle finger, that is blatant. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to take the plane.
Don't you think when he lets these white Africans in and claims that's giving the middle finger to the black?
Disney, the magical kingdom built on talking animals and mouse-ear empires, usually saves its cancel button for struggling cartoons or box office flops starring some computer-generated raccoon with family issues. But this time, the spotlight turned toward The View and its non-stop daytime shouting matches.
Nothing. As if the show is some delightful chit-chat fest without the political talk.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a lullaby and a shot of Dickel.
Yeah.
If they're not ripping on Trump. Here's Joy. She's going to share her feminine hygiene routine and tell you how to prevent your old tatas from going down and having a picnic with your belly button.
The once untouchable circle of couch commentators finally got hit with some backlash after pushing things so far that it all came flying back at them. Like a runaway churro at Disneyland, the news spread fast. The same media bosses who had protected The View host for years suddenly seemed to change direction. Apparently, the ratings magic just isn't there anymore, when viewers are watching 5 constantly outraged hosts argue about which celebrity should be canceled next.
That's like a cross between The View and Hee Haw. Except hoo-ha. Wow, yeah, that is pretty good, isn't it? It's Hee Haw meets hoo-ha. I don't know. Michelle, you okay, Michelle? At least somebody got it, even when I was thinking, I go, does that make any sense?
Yes, it made perfect.
Who would have thought a daily on-air shouting match over coffee cups could become the center of attention for a massive media company? Right on cue came Greg Gutfeld, Fox News' favorite troublemaker, who has practically built a career out of roasting The View, has the energy of a Gordon Ramsay meltdown, just with more sarcasm and fewer kitchen disasters. To Gutfeld, the show looked like the daytime TV version of a disaster waiting to happen. Loud, messy, and full of hot air. The moment Disney hinted at trouble, he treated it like an open invitation to go all in on The View.
Lighten up, and this is what they did on the Qatar jet, or Qatar jet.
The United States has accepted the plane. Is going to cost.
He has accepted the plane. The United States has not accepted the plane.
He representing the government.
He's not representing us.
He's the government. Why does he want it, do you think? Because he's the king?
Because
he wants to go around the world like the king?
It goes to him and his presidential library, so it becomes his plane.
But we all know that that's BS, okay? No. He's not giving that to his presidential library. He's going to take it, he's going to fly and use it. But he's not supposed to have it. I got the Constitution right here. He's not supposed to have the plane. Okay.
All right, my point, Michelle. If you take that away from them, I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Like what? It's like what Dagan said. There isn't any.
He didn't even need to say it directly. Greg Gutfeld's style works through sarcasm, side comments, and the kind of side-eye that deserves its own warning label. To him, The View stopped being a serious discussion show a long time ago and became more like a loud group chat on live television. He wrapped the whole situation in pure sarcasm and let the audience connect the dots themselves. For years, The View built its brand around a panel of hosts who often seem to think alike, target the same political figures, and enjoy repeating the same talking points. Watching it sometimes felt like sitting through a group therapy session where everyone talks over each other and nobody listens. So what finally pushed Disney to react? Simple. Executives may have realized that loud arguments are not the same thing as real substance. The bigger issue was the ratings. Viewership was falling fast, almost faster than illogic in some recent superhero movies. And when your biggest audience is people who forgot to change the channel after cartoons, that's usually a sign something is going wrong.
I love what you said about wanting to entertain audiences, critics saying Disney's too woke, but you're just putting out storytelling.
We are. Look, I don't really like the term woke because I think it's an umbrella term that I'm not 100% sure I even know what it means, and one could argue that sometimes it's used too liberally. That said, our primary purpose is to entertain, and where we can entertain responsibly, obviously we try to do that. We try to have a positive impact on the world, but the first thing we need to do is...
Never one to miss a chance to mock left-leaning media, Greg Gutfeld jumped right in. He compared The View to a daytime TV coliseum, except instead of gladiators, it was highly paid hosts throwing sarcasm and social media talking points at each other. According to Gutfeld, the audience reaction felt less like applause and more like America quietly cringing. He also took shots at the panel itself, describing each host as a walking stereotype, the self-appointed intellectual, the permanently offended voice, the former celebrity stuck in another era, and the so-called moderate who quickly caves under pressure. To him, Disney's threat to cancel the show felt less like corporate drama and more like overdue damage control. Even the executives behind endless movie sequels could tell something had to change.
What it reminds me of, Joey, is that it's like it is a microcosm of the Democrat Party. If you look at The View, it's tightly wound and miserable, largely female, hallucinating and angry. Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of pork sausage for possible contamination with plastic fibers. Fortunately, authorities were able to track all 42,000 pounds to a single location in New York City.
Let's be honest, The View has slowly become a parody of itself, a non-stop cycle of dramatic outrage dressed up as meaningful conversation. Every episode feels less like real discussion and more like people arguing for the sake of headlines. It's like watching 5 social media comments fight over politics while completely missing the point. As Gutfeld kept roasting the show from a distance, even ADC's PR team probably knew the criticism was getting harder to ignore. There's only so long you can hide falling ratings before everyone notices the drop. What was once promoted as a powerful voice in national conversation now struggles to create much excitement at all. The same talking points, the same staged arguments, and the same debates timed perfectly around commercial breaks. Gutfeld didn't just mock the show, he exposed how predictable it had become.
The View. It's become like a medical hospital that displays human misfailure. Like it's like here, let's look at this political oddity. You know, it's like it really is like the left-wing equivalent of a carnival sideshow, except instead of bearded ladies and fat clowns and two-headed cows. Well, let me rephrase that. But The View is a victim of the...
At this point, it's less about politics and more about performance. The View doesn't really debate ideas anymore. It reacts, argues, and turns emotion into entertainment. Greg Gutfeld didn't need to invent anything, because the show practically parodies itself. All he had to do was point at it and let the audience connect the dots. The bigger issue is the ratings. Viewers now have endless choices, and many seem to be moving on to podcasts, streaming, or almost anything else. A format that feels stuck in the past struggles to compete today. Meanwhile, Gutfeld's mix of sarcasm and sharp commentary connects with people who are tired of constant outrage and scripted arguments. The real problem for The View is that it no longer seems aware of how predictable it has become. What once claimed to shape national conversations now feels like a panel trying to outshout itself while the audience slowly tunes out.
Now speak the truth, and when for years you've been telling lie after lie after lie, now you're carrying this big bag of rocks around you because it's too harmful for their ego to admit that we really were dishonest. And they could be honest. All they would have to say is, look, we hate Trump so much. We were willing to lie about Joe Biden because we felt he was preferable. We thought our lying and our cover-up was on your behalf. Just say that. You're still scum, but at least you're honest.
Greg Gutfeld came off less like a critic and more like someone pointing out what many viewers already noticed. With sarcasm and sharp jokes, he mocked a show that critics say has become too focused on outrage, repeated talking points, and self-importance. What made the roast hit hard was the feeling that The View had become trapped in the same old formula. Instead of changing, it kept repeating the same arguments while ratings continued to slide. Gutfeld simply highlighted the decline and let the audience see it for themselves. If the show really is nearing its end, some may remember it as a lesson in what happens when loud opinions replace meaningful conversation.
Anti-aging drug for dogs has moved closer to gaining FDA approval. Customers are already waiting in line. No, it's nothing personal. We just saved money using the same picture 3 times.
Disney's reported threat to cancel The View felt bigger than just another corporate decision. To critics, it symbolized a larger problem across modern media, the idea that speaking louder somehow counts as moral authority. Shows like The View built their identity around outrage, dramatic debates, and treating every disagreement like a national crisis. But audiences seem to be growing tired of the formula. For years, many traditional media programs kept pushing the same style while ratings slowly slipped away. Eventually, even the loudest echo chamber starts losing its audience when people stop feeling connected to it. Critics argue that viewers no longer want wealthy TV personalities constantly lecturing them while presenting every minor disagreement as an act of bravery. And for many, The View has become the clearest example of that growing disconnect.
Jackal, if you hate Kamala's cackle, according to The View's moo-moo-wearing mascot, Joy Behar, men are sexist if they're not a fan of Kamala's laugh, or funny women in general, especially if they're in bed. Roll it.
What really ticks me off about him, though, is this laughing Kamala remark. It's such a sexist remark because a guy I was with over the weekend, a friend of mine, they said Kamala's laugh annoys me. Remember they said that about Hillary's laugh, that she was cackling. And men, you know, they don't like a funny woman. They're afraid if you laugh or you make a joke that maybe you'll do that when they're in bed with you.
Oh my.
Joy Behar in bed? Ooh. I thought cows slept standing up.
The ratings tell the real story. More viewers seem to be turning away from shows that feel overly scripted, preachy, or focused on outrage instead of honest conversation. Audiences can spot pandering quickly, and many appear tired of being talked down to. Meanwhile, Greg Gutfeld and similar hosts continue gaining attention by mixing humor, sarcasm, and commentary that connects with viewers instead of lecturing them. That contrast has made the decline of traditional talk shows even more noticeable. What makes the situation even more ironic to critics is that some media personalities once supported cancel culture, only to now face corporate pressure and falling ratings themselves. And for many people watching, that has become part of the story surrounding The View's uncertain future.
I thought that was a nice break from the normal chatter, right? Did you notice how the audience they couldn't tell the difference? Because generally it is a screaming match, and so you have the audience basically joining in. That stuff, it has a reverse effect. Like, it's making me more militant in my adherence to fossil fuels and to red meat. It's like I see that, I go, well, I'm going to just start eating a raw ribeye while driving a tractor trailer up a mountain of coal, just like this the whole time. I'm not stopping. I'm coming for you, View. But you're right. It's all it's actually not right versus left. That's left versus left.
Disney's threat may not be official yet, but it still sends a clear message that even long-running shows are not untouchable. Critics argue that The View has already tried everything: outrage, dramatic debates, and turning shouting matches into entertainment. But for many viewers, that formula no longer feels fresh. At some point, the show may need to reinvent itself or risk slowly fading into the background, like yesterday's social media trend. What once looked powerful and untouchable now feels more like a program struggling to hold on to attention with louder arguments and bigger reactions. And maybe that's the real problem. When every conversation turns into yelling, eventually people stop listening.